Should I really take a building into my heart?
Well, I see you want to know exactly. Of course, we can also hang our heart on a stone building or on one in the subtle world made of thoughts, like this one. As you might still carry your parents' house or a holiday home by the sea in your heart, where you spent a happy childhood. But crucial and really intended is something else.
You fill your heart with the spirit that prevails in a sanctuary.
We had already seen one can fill the heart with the spirit of the teacher, who is then present. Likewise, you can fill your heart with the spirit of a sacred place, then the temple is present. You can feel it when you are imbued with its atmosphere, namely purity, tranquility, and solemnity.
What shall I do in practice?
In meditation, in the morning, you think purity, tranquility, peace, joy, and solemnity into your heart.
Open your heart so wide that the spirit of paradise can pour into you. The abode of the spirit is in the heart.
When, at the end of the meditation, your soul leaves its home and returns to earth, it remains filled with this spirit. This is no abstract theory. This is a real experience that you can make again and again with every new contemplation. During the day, you strive to preserve this high spirit within you, which unfortunately tends to evaporate all too easily. As you take the solemn mood of a cathedral into your heart and try to keep it as long as possible after the exit into your everyday life. This is a difficult exercise which requires tremendous spiritual effort. You will see. Often you lose your high state of mind already a few minutes after leaving your meditation room for some ridiculous trifle.
The so-called state of nirvana is not rest, but rather the highest tension of energy.
We are now coming to one of the key messages of this broadcasting. To walk the path of the interior temple means
you carry the spirit of a sanctuary, purity, tranquility, peace, equanimity, joy, and solemnity, always in your heart.
The great secret of this exercise is it really transforms your being.
You yourself become pure, calm, peaceful, composed, joyful, and solemn.
Here is the happiness you are seeking, for which you are longing. Now you are living in the highest conceivable world. Now you are in heaven. Again, we recognize
happiness is a state of the consciousness Despite all that, I still have trouble imagining a temple within me.
Then let us consider another aspect. You understand, and you have already experienced, that you can fill yourself with a spirit of strength and joy, purity and solemnity.
Yes, of course. I certainly have already done that.
Now look, you can fill only a vessel or a room. Thus, whom or what are you filling? Certainly not your body, as we are not talking about the physical heart either.
Imagine your subtle heart, your heart chakra, as a spiritual room in the innermost depths of your being.
This is the world in which your soul lives. We remember, your eternal individuality is a giant hidden deep within you, that is, in a room within you. The soul lives on the inner level. Its ancestral home, heaven, is not above or outside, but inside you.
We close the physical eyes, and before our inner eye, the sanctuary arises. We perceive ourselves, our eternal individuality, standing in this temple.
This inner room you may fill with any spirit, with the spirit of love or hate, of fear or courage, of doubt or confidence, of joy or sadness. You may illuminate or darken it. In this inner room you can create absolute silence and solemn calmness. May the world around you rage as wildly as can be. That is why one speaks of inner tranquility. There the soul finds its peace, which then embraces your entire being and later radiates to your surroundings. Here you are completely with yourself and undisturbed, because nothing external, material or low can get close to you, as in heaven.
Build a center, a fulcrum in your own inner self, where the love of the Great White Lodge may rest.
You create your personal paradise by denying lower beings, their negative spirit, and their depraved vibrations access to your inner room. They have no business in your interior temple.
You lock the door of your sanctuary firmly from these enemies. They have to stay outside.
You alone determine whom or what you admit to your innermost. You can ensure that only peace, quietness and joy find a home there. You yourself as well still have to find the access to this room. Learn to enter this place of silence and to stay there. It is present in every human being, but the entrance is buried and must be cleared.
Remember, the entrance door to the sanctuary is inside you.
Incidentally, we are speaking of the same virtual room or vessel which the teaching calls chalice. There are stored all the accumulations, memories and experiences of the millions and millions of years of our entire existence in all worlds. To this gigantic treasure as well, access will only be granted once we are sufficiently developed. Inside you is the source from which your emanations, your aura, radiate outwards. In this protected inner room, which Agni Yoga often means when it speaks of the heart, the soul establishes the connection to the higher world.
Therefore, think of the heart as a mediating principle that connects you with the distant worlds.
Here is where you meet your teacher, not in the Himalayas. That is why you hear his voice, not from the ceiling of your room, but within yourself. That is why you can hardly distinguish the voice of your teacher from the voice of your heart.
Precisely, the heart is a link between the worlds, and only the heart can respond to the heart of the Master and to the entire hierarchy. Into this inner room penetrates the light, the inspiration of divine enlightenment.
Therefore, instead of meditation, one also speaks of introspection or navel gazing. Thereby we express, with the help of your inner senses, you have a look at what is going on in your interior temple. Everyone is a pharaoh, a house of God.
The temple in the heart is the house of God. In the most ancient times, people regarded the heart as the dwelling of God. But now, in our enlightened times, the heart has been reduced to nothing more than a physiological organ. You should first of all remind people how important the heart is as a unifier of the worlds.
First of all, you have to worthily prepare this house so that God, or His Spirit, can move in there.
The ability to establish the sacred hierarchy in one's heart comes through toil. The sanctuary within may even be partially destroyed. A few pillars you might have to set up again before you can use it.
Above all, you can and must clean your inner room, that is, free it from unspiritual strivings and selfishness.
A symbol of the purification of the heart is the expulsion of the traders from the temple by Jesus. The expulsion of the merchants from the temple is a symbolic warning, but the temple should be in the spirit. This means that haggling must be expelled in spirit.
By its very nature, your soul desires to dwell in a sphere of purity and joy, like a saint in a monastery.
Here, There is no cheating and no selfishness, as in the wonderful world in which a pure, innocent little girl lives. The channel of the heart must be purified. One should not think of the heart as a lump of lower matter. If so, how to contact the highest world?
In a pure inner room, good, high, beautiful and great thoughts and ideas are born. In a dive, when you turn your heart into a den of thieves, low aspirations are prospering. When you encounter rudeness, you have three options. First, you lead the ruffian back to the right track, like a small child, with love, like a mother, or with rigor, like a father. Second, you fight the rudeness, like weeds in your garden. Or, if neither is feasible, third, you withdraw to your protected inner room, and thereby prevent at least you yourself from being besmirched.